What does it take to be an effective scorer as a power forward? A quick glimpse at Amare Stoudemire's game will give you a pretty good idea, and you'll also begin to understand why Cleveland might be intrigued with the possibility of acquiring Stoudemire. Let's start with a pick and roll where Amare's as good as any big man in the league. There's Stoudemire, and there's his dance partner, Steve Nash. Now, Stoudemire isn't the world's best screener, but watch him take off for the basket the instant Omri Caspi and John Brockman commit to Steve Nash. Stoudemire is as sure-handed as anyone in the league catching the ball in traffic, which is what he does here, finishing strong with the slam. The Kings didn't defend this pick and roll very well, but imagine how much tougher it would be if Stoudemire joins Cleveland. This would now be LeBron James, and that would be, say, Mo Williams, a 43% shooter from beyond the arc, or even Delonte West, who shoots 41% from three. Even if the defense does rotate promptly from the perimeter, there's not a whole lot you can do to stop Stoudemire once he's attacking on the roll. If you foul him, as Kevin Martin does here, Stoudemire will gladly go to the stripe, where he's converting at a 77% clip. Given all that, defenders on the pick and roll should drop back to prevent Stoudemire from rolling to the rim with impunity, right? Well, if you do, you run the risk of Stoudemire beating you with his face-up jumper. He has an effective field goal percentage of greater than 46% on jumpers. That's one of the best marks in the league for a big man. Stoudemire doesn't work exclusively in the pick and roll. He also creates opportunities by moving off the ball from the weak side. Watch him here move toward the basket once Grant Hill lures the defense. Stoudemire catches that pass in traffic with his sticky mitts, and once again the only recourse the Kings have is to foul. Here's another example, almost the identical play just from the other side of the floor. Again, Hill lures the defense, and again he finds Stoudemire. Just as before, once Amare gets the ball on the move to the rack, he's virtually unstoppable. There's plenty of power to go with the finesse. Watch Stoudemire here in isolation from the left elbow. Quick first step, strong handle on the dribble drive, and completely unfazed by contact. You wouldn't characterize Stoudemire as a traditional back-to-the-basket power forward, but he does generate a fair percentage of his offense in the post. Check out this contested jump right hook over his left shoulder. And how does Amare fare in the open floor? See for yourself. That's the good news on Stoudemire. He's an offensive force, and that's hardly a secret. But acquiring Amare doesn't come without some drawbacks. In the game we've been watching, Amare went for 30 and 9, but his primary defensive assignment, Dante Green, he went for a career-high 31. Here's an example of Stoudemire's iffy pick-and-roll defense. Nash is on Beno Udrih, and Stoudemire is on Green. Once Udrih dribbles left of the screen, you can see him breeze by Stoudemire. Amare doesn't do anything to slow down Udrih, but he's also not accounting for Green, who has drifted to the perimeter, where he's wide open. Granted, Green misses the shot, but that doesn't mean Stoudemire's playing a quality brand of defense. See, if that's Rashard Lewis, Amare's toast. Green repeatedly beats Stoudemire off the dribble without much resistance. Here, Amare gets deked by a crossover. And here, Amare just gets beat in a general sort of way, and gives Green a little shove in frustration. Then there's the issue of Amare's rebounding. His numbers aren't great, though they're comparable with J.J. Hickson's. Still, Stoudemire's work on the glass leaves much to be desired. And it's not so much an issue of technique as it is, well, effort. Here, Stoudemire doesn't do much to box out, and the Kings' big men just want it more. It's possible that moving to a team like Cleveland with a strong defensive ethic could improve Amare's D. That would be great for the Cavs, because there's no question that the addition of Stoudemire's offensive game would make Cleveland an absolute juggernaut. The prospect of LeBron James and Amare Stoudemire as a forward tandem has to be sending shivers up the spines of the Cavs' Eastern Conference rivals.